So as we're going over chapter 8, day 2, we're going to look at a couple of examples. That's a note to us. Is that all I have? All right. We're going to go through the 2 examples on the top, the practice examples, and then you guys are going to do your worksheet in class. So my first one is 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. 2x squared plus 7x minus 4. And I am told to, I'm not told to do anything, but it should say factor this. Okay? Factor this. So if I'm going to factor this, I'm going to do my diamond and box. It is important that you know how to do your diamond and box. What goes in here in this part? A times C. It would be a very good idea on your cheat sheet to add that and add what this looks like. So I'm going to give you a graphing of what this looks like. My B goes there, right? What goes here? Ax squared goes here, right? What goes here? C. And then I have star, but I don't put my x here, and I have a star here. And these two things add to B and multiply to A times C. Remember, we called that the master product. Multiply is not spelled correctly. Deal with it. Sorry. Multiply. The L didn't fit. There we go. Multiply, now it doesn't have a P. Anyway, you know what I mean. Okay? So, what goes over here from this diamond? Why do we have to do the diamond? Why do we have to do the diamond? To finish our box, right? So what goes here is my star X and my star X. So if you don't have that written somewhere in your notes, you should have that written somewhere. Write it on here so you can copy it onto your cheat sheet. Okay? So far, you should have chapter 6, 7, 8 on your cheat sheet by the end of today. Tomorrow we're doing 9. Thursday we're doing 10. We're only spending a day on those 2. And then, actually I think we're doing 2 days. No? I don't know. I have to look at my calendar. Okay? So, make sure you update your cheat sheets. All right? Questions on the setup? All right. So, specifically for this one, let's figure out what these are. What is my A times C? -8. Okay? What is my B? 7. Okay? If my numbers are multiplying to a negative, are these 2 sides same sign or different sides? Different. They have to be different signs. If it's multiplying to a positive, they're same signs. So I have to have a plus here and a minus here. So now, if you do that for yourself, you will be more successful in this. Okay? Now you have to figure out what your plus and your minus are. They have to multiply to 8 and add to 7. So if I do -8, I've got 1 times 8 and I've got 2 times 4. Which of those add to 7? Or theoretically subtract if they're opposite sides? 1 and 8, right? So if it has to subtract to a positive 7, which one has to be positive? The 1 or the 7? I mean the 1 or the 8? The 8, right? because 8 minus 1 is 7. If it was negative 7, then my 8 would have been negative, but my 8 has to be positive. So whatever sign this is, the bigger number has to be positive. Does that make sense? The other reason this is helpful, putting those signs down right away, is so that you remember you're subtracting those two numbers versus adding those two numbers, okay? Questions on that? A lot of the issues that you've had with this has been setup. Putting things in here wrong and taking things out wrong. This is crucial to that setup. So, what goes here? Ax squared. So what am I writing, everybody? That's a bad everybody. 2x squared it is. Now, actually, everybody, Melvin, Sear, pick your heads up. What am I putting here? What number? -4. Where'd you get 6 from? Oh, you said C. Okay. I heard 6, and I'm like, whoa, Nelly. All right. What goes here? -x or 8x. Doesn't matter which one goes there. No. What matters is you take it out correctly. Okay. So now you need to take your common terms out. Always start with these two. What do these two have in common? There's an x in common. Is there a number they have in common? Not 4, because you can't divide 2 by 4. 2, because you can divide 8 by 2. Okay, good. 2x. So now that I've got my 2x out, what's got to be here? What do these have in common? X. And so double check to make sure you did it right. 2x times x, is that 2x squared? Yep. Okay. Now you can use this 2x to figure out what goes here. 2x times what gives me 8x? 4. The outside changes, the inside doesn't. That's the other error you guys have made, is you'll erase the inside to make whatever you want these numbers to be, or whatever you feel like these numbers should be. These change, not inside. Okay? What do these have in common? In other words, what do I have to multiply x by to get to -1x? What do I have to multiply 4 by to get to -4? -1. So my answer is 2x minus 1 times x plus 4. Because this is a plus 4. Yes?
Can you do the opposite, like 2x plus 1, x minus 1?
No, because then 2x, if this was a -4, that would be a -8x, and it has to be a positive 8x. You see that? So that's how you check to make sure you have the correct signs with the correct numbers. Okay? Sometimes, yes, you can do that, but not in this case. Questions on that? There are some on the front of this. We're going to go through one on the back, but there are some on the front of this or on the back of this that you have to take a number out first. You need to distribute a number out first. Did we finish? Yes, sir.
I think when I was looking at this, I think you put them on purpose and somehow because it was working in my face when I looked at it.
Oh, you're right. I think I might have. But it's only day 1. Is that it? That's all I had. I'll look.
The other ones don't got none of them. They just read their paper.
I will look. I may have moved them. Go and grab from Carlos's. I think I put them on my pile. So, you're right, I did. Questions on that? Brooklyn, did you have a question? Okay. I want to go over the back. And I want to go over the back, and I want to do...
Is this one we on? Chapter 8?
I would like to do... Well, we're going to do this first. The 3x squared plus 9x equals 0. Okay? When it's equal to 0, we have to go one step further. We need to do the zero product property. So we have to factor this and then do the zero product property. We need to factor this one using our greatest common factor. In other words, what do both of those have in common? What can I divide both of these by? 3x. Exactly. I can divide both of them by 3. I can divide both of them by x. So my 3x goes on the outside. If I divide this by 3x, what am I going to have on the inside? X. If I divide this by 3x, what am I going to have on the inside? Back here. Plus 3 equals 0. Okay? All right. What do I do now? If I need to find out what my values of x are, what did I do now? Who remembers? Distribute. If I distribute, I get back to where I was. So I don't want to distribute. What do I do now? How do I find my values of x? Nope. Remember this where we split things in half and we put both of these equal to 0 and then we solved? Do you remember that? Or you could literally rewrite each of them equal to 0, which is essentially what you just did.
Yeah, don't you do minus 3 on that side?
Here I would do minus 3. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Sorry. So negative 3 is one of my solutions. What's this solution? Divide both sides by 3. 0 divided by 3 is what? 0. Okay? So, to do some of these, you have to take this out. Okay? Please cross off 8x squared minus 40 equals 0. Unless you would like to do it for a challenge, you can, but we really didn't talk about how to do that one. So 8x squared minus 40 equals 0 is one we didn't really talk about. On the front, the second one down, 5x squared plus 20x plus 20, is there any number or number n variable that you could take out of that? 5. Not 5x, because that last 20 doesn't have an x as well. Okay? Just the 5. So do that 5 out of there. Do this, but just divide that by 5 before you factor. It will be a whole lot easier. Because if you try to factor that using diamond and box, you're going to be frustrated. So 5x squared plus 20x plus 20, divide each of these by 5. And the 5 goes out here. What do you have left? And then factor that. Okay? Questions? Try to complete this by the end of the hour. Go. I will move around and ask questions and go from there. But so then you're going to figure out what's going to be inside here. Let's just start it. What's going to be inside here? And so you're going to factor this. You're going to do diamond and box with just that under that. Okay? When you write your answer, when you write the two things being multiplied, throw a 5 in front of it. Deal? Okay? I would like to talk answers about 5 minutes before the end of the hour. I'd like to try and go through some of these. When is 5 minutes before the end of, or when is like 8 minutes before the end of the hour? Anyone? 29? Okay, because I don't actually know when the end of the hour is. Remember, it's 3 minutes after my alarm goes off. So, okay,